Good evening. Thank you for joining us for News 8 at 11. Tonight, a Venezuela refugee who now calls Rochester home shares her fears and disappointment over President Trump's decision to pause the Refugee Resettlement Program. The woman says her family was persecuted and labeled political activists in her home country. 2 more relatives were scheduled to travel here in the coming weeks, but as Gio Battaglia reports, with the stroke of the president's pen on Monday, those plans were suddenly canceled.
Yes, Teresa, good evening. With the help of an interpreter, Joraina Luiza told me she came to the United States after fleeing Venezuela and seeking refuge in Colombia after dangers and repressions faced by her family. Her sister and nephew were finally set to come here to Rochester the first week of February. But now, due to the suspension of the program effective Monday, those plans are now on hold.
The world knows the reality of what is being lived in Venezuela.
Joraina Luiza describes the impact when someone is taken by the military counterintelligence agency in Venezuela.
Their closest family, their wives, their mothers, their sons don't know where they are. They can't even go to visit.
She says it's been a long journey. She initially fled to Colombia in 2010, but made her way to the U.S. in May of 2023. She tells me she has been dedicated to getting her sister and nephew here as well. The 2 were finally at the stage in the Refugee Resettlement Program where they were preparing to leave Peru, but the recent suspension delayed those plans. Joraina was devastated.
I want to make something clear. This isn't immigration. This is a refugee program. This is a program for refugees. And for one to be a refugee, it is because there is a need.
In President Trump's order, he directed the Secretary of Homeland Security to make a decision within 90 days about how to proceed. Angie Matiz works with World Relief, an organization with a mission to help refugees in the process of fleeing their country. She says she was shocked over Trump's executive order, but remains committed to providing aid.
The only thing we want from President Donald Trump is to stand with the people that voted for him, and also stand with his own speech. He said, we want to bring legal immigrants, and we want to stand with persecuted Christians. And imposing and closing this refugee resettlement program goes against those wars.
As for Joraina, she told me she is praying that her family will be united in the U.S. soon and is pleading with President Trump to reinstate the program.
Presidente, no lo cuestiono. President, I do not question you. I plead to you, don't suspend the program.
World Relief does have a Christian statement on its website urging President Trump to uphold his commitment to protecting persecuted Christians and for his administration to sustain the Refugee Resettlement Program. We have that information over on our website. Teresa, back to you.